One of the most frustrating things that most brand owners encounter on Amazon is not being able to update or control their detail page. So in this video, if you've had that problem, I'm going to walk you through all of the possible reasons why you are not able to update your product detail page and all of the solutions that you're going to need to go through in order to get your product detail page updated. So let's say, for example, that this French's mustard is your product detail page and you want to update these two images, these ingredients and nutrition facts, which are pretty bad, and update it to something more like this, which we can see on the Cocoa Lassus listing done by Mindful Goods, right? Much more beautiful, easy to read, consumer centric. Okay, so here's kind of an overview that I've given to help walk through this. So the first question is, do you have Amazon Brand Registry? So if you have a registered trademark, you're going to want to get Brand Registry, and that's really, really important for detail page control. There's basically three levels of detail page control. Level one is any customer, any seller can list this product on Amazon and provide updates. They can provide content, they can provide product features, they can update the title, photos, and Amazon will choose based on that seller's rating in past contribution history, which information to show. So that's kind of level one. Level two is Brand Registry. And once you have Brand Registry, you should be able to override anybody else's previous contributions to your listing. Not always it's the case, but we'll talk about why. The third level is what's called a retail contribution. So retail contributions is anytime the product is sold by Vendor Central. Typically, there's a couple other cases that could play into. But if the product has ever been sold by Vendor Central, the product detail page could have retail contributions that would override and supersede even your brand registry. So first question is, do you have brand registry? Now, if you don't have brand registry, you can still get some detail page updates and still have some level of control. You will need a manufacturer website link to the product. Typically, it needs to show the UPC code on that product page. And you can ask Amazon to remove any contributions by other sellers that are blocking your contributions as the brand owner or as a seller, even if you don't have brand registry. So that's level one. Now, if you do have brand registry, but you aren't sure if the products are activated for brand registry, you can check your brand performance report. So for example, we can look here in the brand performance report. And if your product is listed here, if your ASIN is listed here, that means it should be activated for brand registry. Just because you have brand registry and the product is listed under your brand doesn't mean you automatically have brand registry activated for your products. You typically have to do a partial update using a flat file template to activate brand registry, specifically if you had your products listed first, then got brand registry later. Okay, the next step is, are there retail contributions blocking your updates? Now, if we look at this image here, we can see that this is a very standard image from Vendor Central. Amazon likes to show the size of the product in people's hands, kind of silly. But if you see an image like this and you're trying to update your listing here, you're not going to be able to, even with brand registry, because we can see here that this is a retail contribution. And the solution to that is you can actually contact the catalog department and they can let you know if there are retail contributions on the listing, or if there are other contributions blocking your listing, or who's winning the contribution. So that can be really, really helpful. The second thing you can do is actually request those retail contributions be removed. Typically, we like to have a very simple email that goes either through the catalog department or brand registry support that says, we're the brand owner, we're the manufacturer, here's a link to the website, here's our trademark, and here's the information that we want to remove or get updated. That process can take several weeks, and it can require several passes to get that to actually go through for those contributions to be removed. And then once they do, you'll be able to update your photos, your titles, and product features, etc. All right, the last situation is where you're actually providing conflicting contributions. So do you have multiple SKUs? A lot of brands that we work with have a merchant fulfilled and an FBA offer. So 2 SKUs on a single ASIN. When we set up a client for the first time, we typically recommend picking one of the fulfillment methods to use as your primary content provider. So if they're starting with FBA, we'll upload all the content with FBA, and then we'll add a new condition to create that second merchant fulfilled SKU that doesn't have any content. There's no product features or titles, and it's just a SKU and a price and an offer. That prevents you from having to update multiple SKUs when you want to update content on your detail page. So if you have multiple SKUs, you want to check and see which ones have content. Pick the SKU that you want to use as the main content provider, and then remove any content from the other SKUs. The last piece that we see is if you have previous contributions blocking new updates. So this is typically where you're winning the contribution, but you're trying to make a change using the interactive listing tool in Amazon. You're just trying to change the title or add an image and it's not going through. You can start by doing a partial update using a flat file template. And usually as the product identifier, you want to include the ASIN. That way Amazon knows you're trying to update that ASIN. So instead of just using the UPC code, actually use the ASIN. If the partial update doesn't work, you want to try using a full update. Again, you can start with the category listing report, ask the catalog department to activate that for you, download a full listing of all of your products, and then turn that around and do a full update using the flat file template. If that doesn't work, and again, there's no retail contributions, it's just you're going to have to use what's called the inventory loader file to do a hard delete. Delete your SKUs. It will not delete the ASIN, but it will delete your SKUs, and you have to delete it for 24 hours. So you'll lose sales for 24 hours. And then you're going to use a full update, that same full update using the flat file template after 24 hours are over to update your listings. And that is the way that you can take control of your product detail pages on Amazon. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. And as always, thanks so much for watching.